So this is Cash Jordan. He did a video on
at the live
the Chicago mayor joining the anti-ICE riots. Okay, now this is in Chicago. This isn't LA. This is different. But these are all happening at relatively the same time. This was posted 1 week ago. So this is relatively recently. These protests happened in Chicago, Illinois, where we saw earlier in Chicago, there is Hamas. Hamas again. Weird. Hamas down here in LA, Hamas up here in Chicago, Hamas in Gaza getting bombed by Israel. It's weird how it's the same fucking people all the time. So he did a video about the mayor of Chicago joining the anti-ICE riot. And let's see what he has to say.
Seen on your screen right now. Federal agents now have clashed with rioters outside that facility, that ICE facility near Chicago.
So Chicago area rioters are throwing the kitchen sink at their local ICE headquarters. But
they actually are. They're throwing random shit. Like,
sadly for these Antifa militants and their legions of Sanctuary City voters, these guys don't stand a chance against hardened troops. Nor does a local progressive mayor who thought he could stop ICE from deporting fugitives. But
he's just there to grandstand. He didn't think anything would happen.
As ICE keeps the buses rolling, these rioters keep changing up their tactics.
So they were protesting peacefully earlier, and then they had to hit them with pepper balls. And now the federal agents are holding the line against the rioters.
If they're gonna treat people on the outside like this, how are they treating people on the inside? Is it even worse than this?
This is really what standing up for democracy looks like.
Broadview Police Chief Thomas Mills says on top of requiring 75% of his department's manpower,
it never begins this way. It's always just like a line of ICE officers standing there guarding something. And it's not until one of these crazy unhinged protesters goes up and starts screaming in their face and spitting and throwing shit at them, or maybe wants to push them, that 2 or 3 ICE guys, because they actually work together and care about their individual safety, will work together to drag that one guy to the ground and arrest and detain him because he did something that wasn't free speech. It never starts out like this, but it usually ends that way, and the police get blamed for it, but I doubt they're the ones that actually caused anything.
Power for crowd control outside of the ICE processing facility in the west suburban city. He was personally, verbally attacked by ICE agents during a protest.
Oh no, he was verbally attacked.
September 19th, the Homeland Security spokesperson said in a statement,
yeah, that bitch, throw her in jail.
In part, rioters assaulted law enforcement. Police under J.B. Pritzker's sanctuary jurisdiction refused to answer multiple calls for assistance.
People are in danger. These agents are in danger just simply doing their job because of these, I want to say,
Thank fucking Christ that they're able to wear masks, man. Because if these people had their face blasted everywhere, they would get harassed at their house. Their family would be in danger because they're trying to do their job and clean up the crime in these streets.
But it's far more serious what these Democrat politicians are not only doing, but encouraging.
In my personal life, I don't really care, but doing these videos, I kind of feel bad having the ad pop up.
All right, so we're going to continue to walk a little bit further because...
So as legions of rioters throw themselves at ICE, local mayors are blaming ICE for that. And what nobody's talking about is we're now entering phase 2 of the war on law enforcement, and we're learning a lot about the tactics these sanctuary mayors and mobs are gonna be using. First, it's recently come out that the fencing used to defend the Chicago ICE headquarters and keep the hordes at bay has been deemed illegal by the local fire department. On top of that,
Fuck the local fire department. I'm just kidding. No, I'm just joking. Although I don't know why. I mean, it's a gate. If you're going to say that, then the gate on this U-Haul unit right here should also be taken down.
Police are refusing to come to the aid of the Broadview facility and make arrests. A tactic they're obviously imitating from the Portland, Oregon Police Department, who spent all summer making 0 arrests. And these political moves are all happening behind the scene.
If that's the case, then every fencing around every jail or detention facility in this country is also illegal. They're just doing whatever they can to create as many roadblocks as possible for these people.
while politicians and local leaders continue encouraging people to just stand up for what's right, which really means doing the wrong thing by being violent.
In 2020, they literally called for there to be unrest in the streets. I don't remember what her name was, but some bald black lady in the House of Representatives said that there needs to be unrest in the streets as long as there's unrest in our lives. Okay, Maxine Waters, who is a senator, said, I don't remember where she's from, but Maxine Waters, who is a senator, said that if you find a Trump supporter in society, then you need to push back on them and create a crowd and tell them that they are not welcome anywhere anymore, okay? These people call for there to be unrest in the streets. They want this to happen, and they're blaming the Republicans for it. Like this, the whole government shutdown bullshit, they're blaming the Republicans for it because the Republicans are in control of all three houses. But that's not how the majority vote works. They have to get 60 votes in the Senate, and they can't get that because the Republicans have exactly 51% control. So because the Democrats are refusing to negotiate in any way, they're just blaming shit on the Republicans. And at the same time, they're encouraging there to be violence and unrest in their own cities. These are not Republican cities.
Something many a budding mayor or lieutenant governor seem to think is a perfectly reasonable, justified idea. And when politicians show up and join these riots, it just makes the whole situation worse. It makes these violent insurrectionists think they've got state sponsorship and state backing, and let's face it, in a sanctuary that harbors fugitives, state sponsorship of this activity is a reality. Which brings us to the real reason increased law enforcement with the backing of National Guard troops will likely be a reality. These
gotta catch 'em all.
Riots, they're all taking place in areas of America that protect fugitives and defend criminals. Notice you don't see anything like this happening.
Dude, I fucking love Alligator Alcatraz, man. Oh my god. Oh, it was such a fucking awesome thing, and the name is just great.
In the state of Florida, where they've got their Alligator Alcatraz. Nope, nobody wants to touch that thing. Yet for some reason in Chicago, everybody from the lieutenant governor on down, and possibly even the governor, seem to be doing everything possible to altercate with ICE and increase tensions, revealing that the struggle for regime change in Chicago will take more than toppling of the main potentate. And if you want change to come to a sanctuary city, the whole place needs to be cleaned out, starting with the criminals.
Yep, fuck them. Yep, boom, right there. Yeah, put him on his nerves.
These thugs attacking ICE agents, they need to be arrested, they need to be locked up, and if they're found to be members of Antifa, well, they could be facing serious consequences.
Yeah, Antifa was designated a domestic terrorist organization by the Trump administration, and absolutely based thing to do. And if you support Antifa, then you support a domestic terrorist organization, and you should be deported along with them. Or at least charged somehow.
Consequences.
There were weapons brought there, loaded handguns, within feet of Border Patrol agents.
They're armed. They're dangerous. They spew hatred and violence. And they want to be taken seriously, and they should be, because
in 2020, they were shooting fireworks at people.
These are the people who are members of...
Back that up. Hold on.
The political...
I saw it. Oh, man. I saw it.
They spew hatred and violence. And they want to be taken seriously. And they should be, because...
Yeah, One Piece!
These are the...
Oh, dude, it's so awesome that this is a fucking symbol of freedom. IRL. This is great. I love this.
The people who are...
Now, just remember, though, Nakama, we are fighting against the Celestial Dragons, not the world government. It's the super ultra elites, okay? It's not just anybody in charge.
Members of the political...
Although a lot of them are also scumbags.
Party of violence. They see violence as being perfectly justified against anyone they happen to disagree with about anything. A disgusting viewpoint that only puts the law-abiding in danger. While these radicals neglect the reality that the level of fugitives illegally in America attracted to Chicago and places like it just make our entire country less safe. But as you're about to see, these sanctions...
I feel like that's a pretty objective fact, right? Like, you put a violent criminal on the street, then it makes the streets less safe. I mean, just 1-to-1. That's all I'm saying.
Sanctuary leaders, they all say that it's ICE who's making things less safe.
I was shocked. I've never been spoken to by a fellow law enforcement officer in such a way.
Broadview Police Chief Thomas
Well, that's because people have pandered to you your whole life.
Mills says on top of requiring 75% of his department's manpower for crowd control outside of the ICE processing facility in the west suburban city, he was personally, verbally attacked by ICE agents during...
What does it matter? You're not helping them.
A protest.
I had to stay calm and not engage in such unprofessional behavior.
Chief Mills says he was walking across a skirmish on September 12th, the day this video was shot. He was called multiple expletives by an ICE agent.
Like what? Because it looks like you're just walking around. It doesn't seem like they're saying anything. But I guess because their mouths are covered, you can claim they said whatever.
So, first question I have is, why is this police chief walking between ICE agents, other ICE agents, and a group of protesters? And why aren't there any police over here helping make arrests? But the local...
Literally the point that I just made.
Police chief here has made it no secret that he is very much at odds with everything happening at the ICE facility.
Within the last 3 weeks, things have really increased.
And he's upset that his department now has more calls to respond to because ICE is in town removing fugitives.
We can't pretend this crap isn't happening anymore. They're making us do our jobs. I don't like it.
Fugitives from the streets of Illinois. But he shouldn't be upset about that. The reality is that once ICE does its job and gets these sanctuary criminals out of here, this whole place is going to be a lot calmer and a lot more peaceful. And the police force can dedicate more of its resources to the few remaining criminals who are still here. But that's not the case here.
Why does that guy not... Why... Hold on. He doesn't have shoelaces. Is that... Is this like a thing where whenever they throw you into the jail, they take away your shoelaces because it can be used as a weapon? Or does he just not have shoelaces? Because honestly, I'd believe either thing.
Who are still here. But that's not the case here at all. And you have to realize something. The police chief in a sanctuary city, whether it's Chicago, whether it's this Broadview place, or whether it's even New York City, these...
Yes, this is what I voted for.
Folks, they aren't like the rank and file law enforcement officers. And if they want to keep their jobs, they better toe the sanctuary line in some respect. But as you're about to see, that just encourages these local rioters to show law enforcement zero respect.
We have a large gathering of protesters outside. We're requesting assistance from...
Look, dude, they are chanting for the death of America. Like I don't know what you expect, Cash. Like they aren't. Why would they show law enforcement respect? There was a whole thing of defund the police. There was that whole movement, okay? Like that was part of the BLM and Antifa movement back in fucking Summer of Love 2020 when all these cities were on fire the last time. What makes you think they're going to want to support law enforcement this time?
From Broadview PD, please, just to control the crowd outside.
It's crazy.
Oh boy. All right, I'll let them know.
That's just one of numerous calls from federal immigration agents to Broadview police over the last few months calling for backup a little more than a week later.
We've got some people that are trying to force their way into our security gate.
So look at this. The police aren't at this facility, and the protesters think that legitimizes their rioting and their radical behavior. They're not protesters at all. These are just straight up insurrectionists. You don't have to do what is happening here to make your voice heard and send a peaceful message. None of this is peaceful. Yet these sanctuary politicians and leaders, they all blame ICE for the fact that any of this is happening. They've got the same attitude as their counterparts in Portland who think if ICE would just melt,
that guy's job,
go
man.
away and never come back, things would go back to being Neverland.
Hell
Yet the
yeah.
reality is you've got a physical building here.
We need to start just tossing rubber bullets into the crowd. See how fast it disperses.
And people inside of it who just need to enforce.
And if a child gets hit accidentally because their parent brought them to this bullshit, that is the parent's fault. At this point, you should expect it to be violent in some way.
America's laws. That's their job. And the only time these...
Like, all the people that are complaining, oh, they tear gassed a fucking 4-year-old girl. Why the hell was she at this riot? Like, why the fuck was she here? It's the same thing that Hamas does over in Palestine, right? That they hide behind children. They use them as meat shields. They do it intentionally. They put their child in harm's way specifically so that whenever you do throw tear gas, you can take a photo of the child suffering and grandstand on it. That's why they do it.
Altercations happen.
Fuck these people.
Or when the gates open to this facility so that they can leave and bring fugitives to the airport, or go and collect more fugitives and process them for deportation.
Come through at this area,
and they're doing a great job.
And we are starting to see more protesters come out about. We know that there's a much larger protest that's planning to happen in just a few hours. And we did hear from Broadview, the village of Broadview, where this ICE facility is at. They say that the ICE officers gave the Broadview Police Department a call last night saying that this weekend we should expect a crap show. You guys can...
Okay, before we watch what happens next, look at what a process that is. Look at how transparent this fence is. You can see right through it. You can see all the troops. You can see them all lined up. And here you got the Border...
It's almost like they're not trying to fucking hide anything.
Border Patrol commander telling everyone that they need to move right now or arrests will be made.
Border Patrol...
Yeah, right, but this is the part, though, that they're not going to show in the news. This is the part that they aren't going to clip out of context, right? They're going to clip the violence out of context, and then they're just going to blame ICE for it. They're not going to show the many warnings that were sent to them, like I showed you guys accidentally like a long time ago toward the beginning of this. They're not going to show all the crazy things that happened before ICE was forced to become violent and start detaining people. Okay, in my head, there's a reason why they're detaining people. They're not just going out there and randomly doing that, right? Because they're here to pick up the illegal aliens, and they'll rip them right at their fucking car, which, honestly, they had every chance to get out of this country on their own. The U.S. government said that if you self-deport, we will pay for your ticket, and not only that, you'll be allowed to reapply for immigration. But if we have to deport you ourselves, then you will not be eligible to re-immigrate into this country. So they had every chance. Fuck them.
Chief Gregory Bovino speaking to...
Move it! Move it right now! Move it! Move it right now!
Everyone knew it was time.
This is not a press conference. He said move. Move.
We're going to continue to walk a little bit further because they are moving us back right now. And of course, we don't want to be hit.
They're not touching anyone.
Less lethal ammunition that's happening. And this is a show of...
Honestly, so glad that members of the press are not immune to consequences anymore. Love that.
Couple dozen protesters at this point right now. You can see
this is what it takes to move a vehicle
back so that they're out of this road view right here.
Dude, for real, all they're trying to do is drive the vehicle out the gate, and they have to escort it down the road because they know the protesters will block the street. I think if you're blocking the road, especially a busy street, you should be able to get run over. I don't know why you have the right-of-way in the middle of the road.
To get this...
Particularly on like a 6-lane interstate, there's no fucking reason for you to be in the middle of the road, period.
Vehicle
Look at this.
Out. Now, not sure what...
This is where the altercations take place, when the facility is used for its intended purpose. ICE is not the aggressor here. They have to open a door. They line up. They tell people to move. And then they open the door, and they have to clear the roadway.
Very procedural.
None of these protesters need to be in the way of that process. And the frustrating thing about all of this is all the local police department has to do is come here and clear protesters off the roadway, just like they are supposed to do in Portland. Yet because they won't do it, these problems, these altercations happen.
Allegedly a...
But if they do that, then they won't have all the out-of-context clips of ICE appearing to be brutal.
ICE agent struck someone and continued on into their location. And during the course of that, while trying to gather information, there was pepper spray released while my officers right there. They felt the effects of that pepper spray where it altered their vision.
But whose fault is that?
I was on the phone with them, and they had to leave the area so they can decontaminate themselves.
Right. So what we're witnessing here is the blame game. Pedestrians are
decontaminate themselves. Grow the fuck up.
Behaving in a manner that is erratic and puts them at risk. These federal agents have to do something so that they can lawfully continue doing their jobs, which is law enforcement. They call the police department. No one shows up. And when the police do get here, the situation has collapsed to the point where there's tear gas everywhere. It sounds like they're unprepared. They don't have gas masks.
Yeah, it's almost like Trump will bring law and order back to this country, whether you like it or not. And it appears that you hate it a lot.
Police chief's just telling them to go there, and now they say, oh, well, we can't stick around. We've got to leave. I mean, that's not law enforcement, and that's the problem with these sanctions.
Did you see that? This is the ICE side. This is the protest side. Shit is getting thrown at the ICE side from the protesters as they're exiting the gate. They haven't had a chance to become violent yet, and they're getting shit tossed at them.
Stick around, we've got to leave.
See?
I mean, that's not law enforcement, and that's the problem with these sanctuary cities. They don't want to do law enforcement against their own rioters, because if that happens, the mayor is going to be thrown out. The governor is going to get voted out.
Now,
you think Toph Beifong from Republic City, Avatar, The Last Airbender, Legend of Korra, do you think that she would put up with this bullshit? Absolutely not, okay? The moment they started with this crazy shit, Toph would put them down, okay? Be like Toph.
Broadview's mayor has issued a blistering letter to ICE excoriating their actions, saying, quote, Broadview police officers are routinely being exposed to ICE agents' tear gas volleys, forcing them out of action until they recover. Broadview firefighters and ambulance personnel are being exposed. Nearby residents are being exposed. Beleaguered Broadview residents are begging for relief from your center's siege of our neighborhood.
Look at that. So nearby residents are being exposed to what's happening at this ICE facility. And then it says
that's just them taking out of context the fact that when you fucking throw tear gas grenades into a crowd, the wind blows it over into neighboring areas, which they don't want to have to do it, but here we are.
Beleaguered residents need relief from ICE's siege of their neighborhood. This is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. All right, here we have the Broadview facility on the screen. Where do the residents live? Do they live over here? It's an industrial area. Look, there's no apartments here. I don't see anywhere where people should be living. If people do live around here, they had to come from miles away because, as you can see, this is an industrial park. Look at this.
You do make a good point there. There's what fucking residential area?
It's all offices. What do you mean beleaguered residents are...
Well, I guess they didn't say residential area. They just said, like, nearby residents. And if these are office areas, then maybe the residents that worked in the office or across the street or something. This is what I'm talking about. This is the bullshit, wild misrepresentation of the headline versus what's actually stated in the op-ed or in the news report or something.
From ICE's siege of this neighborhood. If there are residents around here, they traveled. They went out of their way to come to this facility. Look, there's a train tracks over here. There's this place. There's like a storage unit. I mean, anyone that's being exposed to anything at this place, they don't live here. They came here on purpose to engage with it.
But with little relief, the village is now pleading for state help.
Why?
In the last 3
help with what? Fuck you.
Weeks, things have really increased.
Yeah, you mean they're doing their job and you don't like it and you don't know how to slow it down anymore because you've tried and it didn't work? Yeah, well, fuck you.
So now...
Your nose looks like a manta ray.
Now we are reaching out more requests for resources. It's just now where the ask is becoming greater.
Newly erected extra high fences.
So they're asking the state governor to send more resources.
I love this. In the beginning, it said that, oh, wait, no, I think it was the LA riots where they were saying the, no, it was this. The fire department said that they couldn't have the fences up because it's illegal. It just said they put up higher fences. Oh, man.
To help the local police department. Now, the governor of Illinois and the mayor of Chicago, they've been very vocal about how there is no crime problem in Chicago whatsoever and how these are peaceful protesters. Do you think this local police chief is going to get increased resources to deal with out-of-control rioters? That would almost be an admission of the fact that none of this is peaceful, none of this is good for America, and that all of it is just pure violence, aggression, and hatred towards law enforcement. Speaking of which,
Evening, supporters of ICE got intense verbal altercations with protesters.
I'm not anti-immigrant, I'm anti-crime. And that's why I'm here supporting these guys, because I think they're getting a bad rap by the governor.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
And they're getting a bad rap by Brandon Johnson.
Coincidentally, every illegal immigrant is also a criminal.
Whole streets! Protesters also marched to block streets in the area around the facility.
So stupid.
The Department of Homeland Security said one of 2 protesters detained Friday had a firearm on them, which was confiscated. Our cameras captured the moment that person...
So this guy right here had a firearm on him and was detained at this facility. Now, we already know there are not any houses around this facility. It's an industrial area. So this person, they didn't walk out their front door and encounter a protest. No, they strapped up and drove to this place or were brought here. It's an out-of-the-way location. And what were they going to do? Why are there armed protesters, rioters at this facility? I think we all sadly know the answer to this question.
Yeah, they are trying to kill us. This is a domestic terrorist problem, like I've been saying this whole time. Get with it. Look, guys, Cash doesn't understand yet, but he will. We'll get him. We'll get him.
Politicians have been encouraging aggression towards law enforcement for a long time, telling these radicals that they're standing up for what's right and stopping the iron curtain of fascism.
He's so close. They're terrorists. Domestic terrorists. You can do it. I believe in you.
From descending upon America. And what's crazy is these local mayors and these politicians that are getting arrested at these events, to them, it's a badge of honor that they've been taken down by ICE. Like this mayor that's talking about how, oh, they were so mean to me, they were so harsh, they were so awful, when he's pictured standing in front of a police SUV blocking it from doing anything. To them, they can say, hey, I went out and I fought for the rights of immigrants. Not saying that...
Yeah, it's for the political posturing, yes.
They're actually only fighting for the rights of illegal immigrants, who are the only people who ICE is even here to enforce the law upon, because...
Yep. To date, like I have said, the Trump administration has not deported a single U.S. Citizen or person that is not illegally in this country. Okay, they're not just rounding up random immigrants. Okay, they're rounding up the ones that are here illegally, and whether you like it or not, they haven't fucked up, not even once. Not once. He has another video where he talks about Portland instead of Chicago, so let's see what we got here. Portland collapses.
Portland's
this is the one right here.
Just...
Hang on, Cash. I'm not done talking. This is the frog that I was fucking talking about earlier. This is so stupid. I'm old enough to remember when Pepe was racist for some fucking reason, and that was a drawing of a frog. Now they're idolizing the frog. Let's see why. This is Portland again. So, yeah.
Cross the line, literally, and here come the troops.
They drew a line, and they said don't cross it. What do you expect to happen? Dude, I'm so glad that they came out guns blazing like that. I'm so glad that they just full bore. We're gonna watch that guy again because the guy.
Portland's rioters.
Watch this guy like right in the front. He's fucking on it immediately.
Just cross the line, literally.
Boom! Cross the line. Get his ass.
And here's the takedown. Yep, you can't trespass.
He said, "Cross the line. See what happens."
Warned.
Fuck around, find out immediately.
They get escorted in to the premises.
You wanted to come see? I'll show you. He lost a shoe.
Shoe, I guess. Boy, all they had to do was listen, and this wouldn't happen. But watch this guy right here make the worst mistake of his life. Look, he won't back up. Won't back up. Pushes up
boom.
Federal law enforcement officer. Big
Drag
mistake,
him
man.
down.
Don't do it. Don't do it. See, you don't have to cross this blue line to cross the line. That's the one thing I think these people don't.
Big ass line. Do not cross. Just saying.
Don't understand. There are many ways to wind up inside this facility, but the one way they want to get in by breaking in doesn't seem to be working. But look at this. Things got so out of hand this past weekend. There were even altercations during the day. Look, they're all on the federal property. They're not supposed to be here. That's trespassing. They could all get arrested.
They could all get arrested, but they're being nice and not doing that.
This is terrible. But you see how the officers have the gas masks on? And you see how they're arresting somebody back here? They know things are about to amp up.
Yeah, they're prepared for it.
This is unacceptable.
Hey, get off. Get off the premises. Hell yeah. Look, they're being nice about it. Don't
And
cross the
crowd
blue
saying,
line.
We don't see no riot here. Yeah.
Fuck you mean we don't see a
Sure.
riot?
And
Yeah,
they
no,
want
it's
you
right
to
over
think
there.
people are
Just
getting
outside the camera
arrested
view.
For no reason. They want you to think that something wrong has happened here. Something wrong has happened here, but it's the fault of these Antifa rioters who will just not stop assaulting.
U.S. government property. Do not cross. That's what this line says. Now, look, I know in California, at least, half of them don't speak English, and the majority of them are functionally illiterate, so it would not surprise me if they couldn't read this, but I don't know what those statistics are in Portland, so I just assume that most of these people can read this.
Federal agents putting their hands on law enforcement. It's terrible. Absolutely terrible. Notice how when they enforce the law and they arrest one person, everyone backs up from the blue line. And now there's tear gas.
Yeah.
This is crazy. They have to do this to keep these people back. Look.
The One Piece flag every time, man. Oh, stop associating my favorite anime with your retarded actions. Like, you guys, Luffy would not support you.
They're surrounding the property. They're just all over the place. If they could get inside here, they would.
You are not actually oppressed. If you were actually oppressed, he would support you, but you're not. You're pretending to be oppressed, and you're just being an asshole. He wouldn't support you. He'd hit you in the mouth.
But they've tried. For 100 days in a row now, this is terrible. But it's the constant screaming that does it for me. It's like these
Every
people
time, yeah.
who've been here for 100 days and just will not go.
So this is what I was talking about earlier. You see these kind of different colored pieces of metal that are put on the side of the building here. That's covering up the graffiti that the protesters put in the beginning of these like riots.
Go home. Look, they're screaming. They just
like all along here and down here and up here. Yeah, that's all was graffiti. They put up like some different colored sheet metal over it.
Yelling and screaming. It's terrible. And you want to know why everybody here is wearing a gas mask? Well, you're about to find out. They had to deploy tear gas because these peaceful rioters will not walk away. Look at them. They're just yelling and swearing and cursing. Everything coming out of
Why did we bring the disabled person here? Like, what is the reason?
their mouth is nothing but hatred and violence. We're supposed to believe they're peaceful. Look, they're throwing stuff. You see them? They're throwing stuff at law enforcement.
Yeah, that's probably a bad idea. I'm just saying.
Okay, you throw something, you can have a smoke grenade. There you go. Oh,
they're grabbing someone.
Blasting the pepper balls and the tear gas cannons.
Okay,
This is insane.
Dude.
Look at this place.
These people are fucking crazy.
And you want to know why?
If you want to be out there and protest, fine. Be out there and protest. But that's not what this shit is. That's not what you guys are looking for. Violence. Like you're showing up and you are wanting to antagonize these ICE members enough that they will actually arrest you because you think it's going to make you look good online. It really doesn't. It makes you look fucking stupid.
There are more troops on the way here. You want to know why the president's trying to send the National Guard? This is why. This is a war-torn...
Yeah, this is why he sends in the National Guard. Because if the local law enforcement was here helping them, he wouldn't have to. But because they refuse to do it, Trump has no choice but to protect these federal law enforcement people. Like, he has no choice but to try and protect the citizens in these cities that are refusing to do it themselves.
Cesspool of progressivism right here. This is terrible. This is the driveway that they're always trying to block. And it took an armada of federal resources to get these people away from the driveway. Now, peaceful protesters would cooperate with law enforcement. They wouldn't...
They'd be standing across the street. Like, they wouldn't be in the road at all if they were peaceful.
Agitate and confront law enforcement until they get arrested, which is actually what they want. Every time these people get arrested, to them it's like a badge of honor. They could say, I was down for the struggle. I was abused.
Dude, I just fucking said that. I swear to you that I'm not watching this beforehand. I promise you I am not.
By ICE and the federal government and Trump. Meanwhile, look at this. We got helicopters. You don't need helicopters for peaceful protesters. No, you don't. This is terrible. This is just Absolute mayhem. Look, this old guy in a walker came out here. This is purely for optics. Look, they had him right in the front. Right in front.
Yeah, no, yeah. That's what these fucking people do. You know, the funny thing is, on January 6th, when people were walking into the Capitol and staying within the velvet rope, it doesn't seem to me like a riot of any, or an insurrection of any kind, you know? I'm just saying.
For the troops, these people are doing everything they can to make it look like this is wrong when they're the ones who are agitating. Look, they won't leave. Look, they won't leave. Terrible. Meanwhile, the leaders in Portland tell us there's nothing wrong here. There's nothing to see. The city's fine. It's doing better.
And they're pissed that it's on camera.
Better than it's ever done. And for Trump to bring in the military is just a big mistake. Portland is paradise, according to the people who are defending it.
It's Thursday morning, just a few days after the governor and our senator was here in Portland stating everything is fine. We are not a hellhole. We are not a war zone.
Notice that it was a photo that she took and not a video, because there's not a long stretch of road for her to actually create a video on.
So I'm going to just walk through Portland and just see if that's the case. Behind me.
Yeah, I mean, the evidence of what's going wrong in Portland.
I bet that shit was like right behind the camera when the governor and her girlfriend took that shit.
Is everywhere.
Impossible to get.
You can't even get into a business.
Has anybody ever approached you and offered you help? No. Behind me is a severely mentally ill homeless man who's been on the streets for about 10 years.
Awful.
Cannot take care of himself.
The fact that he's been on the streets for 10 years and he's still alive speaks to the social programs that are in this country. The fact that he's been on the street for 10 years and hasn't starved to death speaks to the social programs that are in this country. Okay, we have a very robust social safety net. And I think we should get rid of it and let Darwin do his thing.
He absolutely needs to be committed, but he's not.
It's awful. This is not success.
These people should not be allowed to procreate. Everyone sitting on the road should not be allowed to procreate.
That's what we're looking at here.
Side note, I worked here exactly 21 years ago. We are already into the second year of ending homelessness in 10 years.
Wow.
Been another 10 years and now another 10 years.
That's how these progressives operate.
Yeah, it's just like climate change. They're just running on the problem, not actually the solution.
They put a time limit on something. They say, hey,
if they fix the problem, they can't run on the promise of fixing the problem anymore.
We're going to accomplish this amazing thing by a certain period of time, and then it never happens. In fact, it only seems to get worse. Why is that?
How would you describe Portland?
Bro had to think about that for a second. That's funny.
A social free-for-all.
Yeah, that's what it...
You know what? That was deep, man. It was a deeper thought than I expected to come out of your mouth.
It is. It's a social free-for-all. There are no rules. Everybody just makes up their own rules. You want to assault the ICE facility? Sure, no problem. And you know what? They won't even allow the police to come and stop you. That's how lawless this place is.
And while many Portlanders say this is not a war zone, there are others who say they're tired of all the protesting, the nightly skirmishes out here in what they call domestic terrorism.
It is domestic terrorism.
For over 100
days, it's almost like if you do what they say, you'll be fine.
And federal police have been the front line at the ICE building in South Portland.
This is so
And this
awful.
weekend has seen an apparent escalation in tactics, with more frequent deployment of tear gas and the consistent firing of pepper balls. But soon, these agents and officers will get to step back as federalized California Guard troops take up positions in Portland. The Trump administration move to mobilize units out of California circumvents yesterday's court ruling prohibiting the use of Oregon Guard troops.
Oh,
In a
interesting.
statement, the White House says President Trump
It's almost like the president is in control of the country and can take law enforcement matters into his own hands as the commander-in-chief of the armed forces. Wow, they didn't expect that. These rioters, oh, gee.
Yeah, it's weird.
We had no idea the president.
It's weird how much power we have to actually fix these problems if we decide to do so. It's crazy.
Come in here and stop our localized lawlessness. And you know something? This lawlessness, if it's allowed to happen here, for an indefinite period of time, it's going to spread to other parts of America. It's already starting to spread to Chicago. We're seeing uprisings in Chicago. We've seen them in LA. They'll be in New York eventually. They've already been here to an extent, but this is just madness.
To protect federal assets and personnel in Portland following violent riots and attacks on law enforcement. Leaders in Oregon disagree and insist any deployment is unnecessary.
We cannot normalize the approach he is taking.
We've normalized rioting for over 100 days. We've normalized the Portland Police Department not showing up when violence happens in front of this facility. We've normalized lawlessness. And when you normalize lawlessness, of course it feels weird to normalize law and order. That's going to feel bizarre.
With the military in our own country.
You're forcing it.
It's unwarranted. It is unlawful. It is un-American.
That's not true.
California Governor Gavin Newsom has already announced new legal action.
Yeah, it's very American. It's also very lawful. It's absolutely within the confines of the law for Trump to be able to do this.
Action against President Trump over alleged abuse of power.
Abuse of power.
Yeah, no, even the moment Trump was elected, California and Gavin Newsom decided to get together and put like $50 million into programs that would be for the sole purpose of blocking Trump from being able to do anything in California.
Look,
blocking the president of the United States from being able to govern California or to effectively, I don't know how to put this, lead California as part of the nation.
More than 4,000 California troops were federalized back in June for deployment in Los Angeles.
And it worked beautifully.
How can you show images like this on the screen to these leaders, these governors, and have them say like, oh yeah, it's all Trump's fault? You mean the burning cars and the people getting hurt? That's Trump's fault?
As ICE stepped up immigration raids, major protest actions stretched about a week, leading to hundreds of arrests.
This is in LA they're referring to.
The 200 to 300 guard troops.
We need to be able to kneecap these dudes for real. Not the California police force or the National Guard or anything, but all these protesters that are just being assholes need to be able to get kneecapped. I'm just saying, like, you can be in an awful lot of pain and still survive. Like, you'd be surprised what is non-lethal.
Set to hit the ground in Portland are from those units.
Okay, so they have experience dealing with crazy people in front of a building.
And Governor Tina Kotek says 100 of those California troops, they are already here. They arrived on a flight last night. More are on the way. State and local.
This happens every time, man. Some judge will temporarily halt something for the purpose of delaying Trump's action. They know that Trump's just going to take it to some court of appeals and it's going to get reversed, but they want to delay it as much as fucking possible because they don't want him to be able to accomplish as much as he might have during his administration without them delaying it. Like, let's say Trump, with no delays, is able to do 100 good things throughout the course of his entire presidency. They're going to try and delay it as much as possible so that instead of that 100 good things, he'll do 55 or 60 instead, right? Just so he doesn't fix the country entirely.
The leaders.
And undo everything they've done.
Pleading for calm and peaceful protest.
I mean, I know they say they're pleading for that, but as they plead for that, they go out and they talk about how awful Trump is and how he is bringing tyranny upon America and how he's going to destroy the whole place. And then they act like, oh, well, we didn't expect people to altercate with law enforcement, and if they did, it's law enforcement's fault. Meanwhile, look.
It's almost like Democrats pander to domestic terrorists because that's their base now. Weird. It's almost like I have the correct take every single time. Guys, listen. If you want to be on the right side of history, follow me. Join my community, okay? Follow me on X. Subscribe to me on YouTube. Subscribe to me on Rumble if you don't like YouTube, and vice versa, because I'm fucking everywhere. Okay? Follow me on these streams. Talk to me. Join my community, because I'm always right. If you want to be on the right side of history, join the right.
Who's getting arrested in Portland?
Yeah, Kaylee, when they say they make arrests based on observed behavior, in these circumstances...
Right there. Knock that bitch out.
I believe that observed behavior was being a conservative. Just being totally honest with you. You saw the video. There was another video that came out yesterday showing a close-up of what happened, and nobody, even my biggest detractors, cannot take that
Is this
video
guy
and
tied to
say
a tree?
I was
What
the
the fuck
aggressor
is
in this
this?
situation. Simply trying to walk down
No,
the
no, he's
sidewalk with my camera. I'm actually walking to my car at the time, and they jump in the way.
I hate that too. Like, that's been ruled as freedom of speech, but I hate it. I don't think they should be able to do it. I think it's disrespectful.
They block me. They start surrounding me, and I keep trying to walk around them.
Thank you.
And they continue.
Thank you, kind sir, in the hoodie here. Appreciate it. You're the real hero in this situation.
To push me, and then eventually one of them throws a punch.
That's crazy.
And then, 20...
So the Portland police, they take the entire summer off from making arrests, and then they come back, and it appears that their arrests are politically motivated. Like, they're arresting people who are there to document.
Oh, yeah, they got a lot of flack for not doing anything, so now they're doing stuff, but only to the Republicans. Only to the people that are pro-ICE. Because they still have to be anti-ICE. Okay, because again, that's the majority of their constituency now. That's the majority of the people that vote for the Democrats. They're illegal aliens. They're fucking suburban housewives. They're these retards with blue hair and some sort of septum piercing because it's every fucking time with them. Yeah, no, they're gonna arrest the Republicans on this because they can't arrest the Democrats because then they would lose their base even more than they already are. At this point, they don't care that the majority of the people in this country don't like this. They care that the majority of the people in their district do, and that's the problem.
This process and let the person watching their videos, we've seen some of this guy Nick's videos in this video, make up their own minds. They don't like that. The mob hates it, so they sick their own police on these people. That is the allegation.
But instead, I sit there 7 or 8 minutes, and a sergeant walks up and said, and
yeah, like I said, dude, in fucking Portland, there was a whole ass protest of naked people riding a bicycle, and I don't think any of them were arrested. None of them were arrested for public indecency. I'm just saying, it's a wild time right now, and they are trying to erase history in that they don't want us to remember the things that they did during this, and they don't want us to remember the warnings that the police gave them before things got violent. They just want us to remember the violence because it's about the fear-mongering, okay? It's about the grift. It is about the political posturing, and they unfortunately now have to posture and grift toward the domestic terrorists in this country. They don't have a choice because that's their base now.
And points to me and says that
all the people that think for themselves are fucking Republican now, and they've been labeled as far right.
The officers cuff them. No reason given. The officers didn't know what they were doing. But in Portland here, Kaylee, at this point, the officers, your rank and file officers, do not do anything unless they are given a direct order to by one of their superiors.
Crazy.
So somebody made the call to have me arrested. We just don't know who yet, and I think we're going to find out.
Yeah, it's fucking bonkers. It's a wild time, man. Like, that's the reason that I'm talking, because I want this to be ridiculed in the streets again. I don't want their behavior to be celebrated in any capacity. And the problem is I have to do this behind a VTuber model because, like, I have a family. I have siblings. I have parents. I've got people and friends that I care about, and I know that people are now getting killed for the shit that they say and for the things that they believe. And I don't want that. I want to keep my anonymity, but people do need to start speaking out about this, and that's why I'm doing this.
Were any of the agitators who assaulted you arrested?
So here's the thing. If you're the police in Portland, you're this local sanctuary police department, who are you beholden to? Are you beholden to President Trump and the American public? Are you answerable to people who aren't in your jurisdiction?
Bro, we need to bring back the Pledge of Allegiance in school.
Or are you more worried that the mob is going to come out and come for you if you don't do what they want?
Yeah, no, that's what it is, yeah.
And do you take orders from a sanctuary mayor and governor? I'm not saying the local police here don't sympathize with their own voters, with these progressive rioters. I'm sure they do at some level. They've taken the entire summer off, no arrests. But these local cops, they're just hanging out, watching everything. They don't do law enforcement there the way that you and I, who obey the law, would expect. And you know what? There's probably a level of corruption going on here behind the scenes that we are only just
as you can see, they've been told directly not to help with federal law enforcement. So if it wasn't ICE, they would be able to help.
Getting to scratch the surface of. We're gonna find out that there has probably been a coordinated effort between those instigating these riots from their political pulpits and the police to let these things go on as long as possible. What do you think about?
Yeah, no, it's 1,000% fucking political posturing, and they have absolutely been coordinating these riots. Absolutely, follow me on X at real_Sestel. Subscribe to me on YouTube. Follow me on Rumble if you don't like YouTube, absolutely follow me here on Kick too, and join the community. Okay, I'm right about everything. Just trust me. Okay, trust me. In the very same way that you don't trust the government, trust me. Okay, put all of that trust you're not giving the government, give that to me. I will take it. Okay, thanks guys. Bye.